Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and my latest video. Today I'm talking all about what I like to wear from head down to toe for the summer rotation. So this is basically everything that I like to choose between when it's a nice warmer months, warmer climate, and you don't have to worry too much about layering up. So I've basically broken it up into different segments, so make sure you skip along to whichever is suitable for you if you just want to jump ahead. If not, sit back and let's get straight into the video, starting with headwear. Just a quick disclaimer that I have bought 99% of all of this kit myself. There are stuff which have been sent to me. There are items which some brands might have sent me, like ProDirect or Nike in the past when I used to work with them. So predominantly this is a Nike slash Tracksmith kit because that is predominantly all my kit that I own. So if you're looking for alternative brands, then this is not the video for you, but if you are, then stay tuned and keep watching. So starting off with headwear, those that know me, I wear a bandana across my head. So these are, first and foremost, these are the old school Nike bandanas, very similar to ones that the tennis players used to wear, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. It basically is a cotton sheet. You kind of fold into triangle, wrap it around in like a couple of inches wide, and then it basically just ties to the back of your head. These are, I've been wearing these for a number of years now. We're talking probably like 5, 6, 7 years, where I've never had an issue. But in terms of keeping sweat out of the eyes, always does the trick. I never have an issue with wiping sweat off my face. They just have an exceptional way of absorbing sweat in the summer months, and it's what you kind of want. It keeps it out of your eyes. I've got long hair, so this is perfect for me to just tuck it under. I just tie my hair back. So first and foremost is a bandana. I have these in multiple colors. I don't think you can actually buy this particular one anymore. It's a very cotton material. It's sort of stitched on each end, and it does a really good job. Other companies out there have actually released a sort of thinner bandana which you can actually use, but I personally don't like them. They're a little bit more stretchy, a little bit more cheaper in their production, so I've always stuck kind of bulked by a lot of these. Also moving on to caps, so when the days when I don't actually want to slick my hair back or just want to get out the door, mainly for like the morning runs, I've got a couple of these Ben Parks hats, and he kindly reached out to me and sent these to me, sent a few of them just because of the fact that I have an exceptionally large head. My head size is quite big. I've always happened to loosen hats just to fit them around, and most generic hats that you get from like Sealer, or you've got the Nike ones. I'm trying to zoom a hat, they just don't sit on my head as well, but these ones are probably the best, and I know a lot of people have bought these hats over the time, so I want to thank you to Ben. Yeah, these are really good and really good for my head size. I'll put up on the screen what my head size actually is, and yeah, they do an exceptional job at sort of staying on, keeping the sweat out of the eyes mostly, not all the time, not as well as a bandana does, because this sits a lot higher. It doesn't absorb from the top, from the middle of the head going down, so you do get sweat dripping into the eyes. But because I mostly wear these for easy runs, it doesn't seem to be a problem. Personally, myself would never wear a cap like this for a session. I just prefer the bandana because it just does a better job in terms of keeping my hair and sort of everything in tight and nice and secure. So moving on to singlets, and I spend the most of the summer in singlets. Very rarely do I wear a t-shirt. Right now in the UK, we're coming off the back of a 5-6 day heat wave, so every single day has been a singlet, and it's quite nice. I even wear them in the winter, so I don't personally believe this is just a summer rotation only. You can tend to get away with them all year round. Sometimes for me, all I need is a singlet and a pair of shorts and a pair of gloves. Does the trick even in the winter time as well. So first and foremost, let's start off with the Tracksmith side of things, because I have two types of singlets from Tracksmith. Number one are the collection singlets, which I think it's just a standard cut of all their singlets. So these are the ones which you get if you attend one of their major marathons, and the material itself is very breathable. You kind of get like a sort of you get small holes, but it's not actually see-through. The material is not actually see-through, and they fit really well. They fit close to the body. In all my clothing, it's all small, so I don't have an issue with sizing up or sizing down. That's not too much of a problem. And in terms of these, I mean, these are really good for training and also for racing as well. They do hold a little bit of sweat. I'm not going to say they don't. Again, it is just their standard material. It's not any of their high performance material. And again, you can get these in different colors and different styles. And I've obviously gone and got these two ones from Berlin and New York. And yeah, they're in the same cut and same style. They're not particularly light, and they're not particularly heavy. They're just slap bang in the middle compared to the other singlets in the rotation. But if you want to spend a little bit more, you can actually buy the higher end premium versions of the Tracksmith singlets. This is a bit of a mesh material. I think it's, at the moment they've updated it now because this is a couple of years old. It's like a 309 mesh. or it's the stuff that they've done for Olympic trials, which was last year, very much in the sort of nice singlet colorway with the red, white and blue. So this is very, very, very lightweight, very different cut, very different material, and again it just fits so much better. It's just got more breathability, it doesn't hold as much sweat, and also it is incredibly lightweight and it dries a lot quicker. So my biggest thing for a singlet that I want is A, it's not heavy, and B, if it does get wet via rain or sweat, it can wick it away and get rid of it as soon as possible. This one actually does that, and I've only got one of these, but yeah, this is an exceptional bit of kit from Trackswift, which I love so much. And also, I mean, it looks pretty great as well. I mean, if you, not many people will be wearing this. So moving on to the Nike side of things, you get the standard sort of everyday training version. So that's like the Nike 365 with all the miler stuff. So this is something like this, which I think was a couple of like 20 or 30 pounds. So this is just like a standard cut, quite a long singlet, it's quite long, quite baggy. It's good for sort of summer days when you want something quite airy and you're not too bothered about how sort of high performance or close fitting. Again, it's got very, very small holes across the whole of the singlet with a print on the front. This does an exceptional job in terms of just keeping you dry. I had most of my singlets in this style in white, just because when it is sunny, I like to wear something a bit more brighter, just to sort of not absorb as much of the sun. So again, these are good training alternatives. Personally, I would not race in anything like this, just because of the fact that it does hang incredibly low, often to the point where you've got to tuck it into your shorts because they sit lower than a pair of split shorts, which could basically mean that you're wearing a dress out running, which might attract the wrong crowd. So for me, I prefer my singlets cut a little bit shorter, especially if you're wearing split shorts, even a pair of half tights. It just means that they're not hanging too low, and also if you want to get to gels or a key or something in the back of your pocket, got to sort of dig around and sort of get this material out of the way, which can also flap if it's a particularly windy day. Moving on to the high-end Nike Aeroswift, and I think hands down this is probably the best material that I own in terms of singlets. This is the 2020 version of this particular singlet. You might have seen this on the TV quite a lot in this colorway, but this again is very, very lightweight. It's probably as light as the Tracksmith high-end version, very breathable. No issues in terms of how this holds water or sweat. Yes, on a super rainy day, it's gonna hold sweat. If you think about if there's a ton of moisture in the air, piece of clothing isn't gonna dry quick enough if there was blazing sunshine. So it's just a simple logic. But again, it does an exceptional job in the nice warm weather at sort of taking sweat away from your body and also drying at the same time. Again, these fit fairly short. They're not hanging, they don't have a lot of sag. I wear all of them in a size small, and they are a slim fit. I know a lot of people who tend to size up in a particular vests, and for me, I prefer them as a sort of a slim cut. I don't like them too baggy. Again, when it comes to racing and that race day, yep, I definitely prefer this cut in terms of how it looks. And again, I've got many 2020 singlets in this colorway. Again, this is the Bauman Track Club. The difference between these versions, 2019 version, is just the cut of the material. I actually believe that this 2019 material, the older Aeroswift singlets, actually do a better job of keeping you drier. These are pretty exceptional in terms of, it's just because it's more breathability in the material. It's just this is actually got holes in the whole of the material. If you remember back in the 2016 Olympics, Galen Rupp cutting holes in his singlet. I mean, this is not to the same level, but it does the same job in terms of keeping you cool. You get a good airflow, it's a good cut to your skin, and it also keeps you pretty dry. And again, these come in some fantastic colorways. So you've got like the Volt and the orange, training as well as sort of long run, anything that's warm. I wear them all the time. And yes, they are pricey. I think I bought these for just over £50, but Nike does have a lot of deals on. You can shop around for these, and it's not as if they can break the bank in terms of being overly expensive at the same time. So I think if you want high performance gear, then obviously Aeroswift, and I think it is now called Nike Dry Fit Advantage, ADV I think it is, but it's essentially Aeroswift. It's just got a new name on it, so don't be deterred. When I do wear t-shirts, again, I can just get away with just some Nike 365 material, just a standard t-shirt, even a cotton t-shirt, something like this, which is okay. This is the Nike Run division. The only thing I don't like about these sometimes is they sit quite long, they are quite baggy, the neck is quite wide, but This was just £15. It was cheap and cheerful. I was like, it looked nice, it was a nice colour, and it's something that I haven't worn before, so I went with it in the end. So again, I have a mixture of t-shirts from Uniqlo, t-shirts from Lululemon, I've got Nike, I've got some stuff that I've got from races, so you can kind of get away with t-shirts, not too much of a fuss. So again, cheap and cheerful does the trick, don't need anything too high end. So moving on to shorts, and probably one of the most crucial items that you need a good pair of in your rotation or in your wardrobe. There's two variations in the shorts. You've got normal shorts, which can split into just standard length shorts and split shorts, and then we've got half tights. So I'll start off with the half tight. This is a pair of Nike Fast half tights. They are, I think I paid £20 for these. They have a drawstring and no pockets on the internal side. There is not a brief in this pair of half tights, and they sit just 2 or 3 inches above the knee. These are pretty good for winter, but again, because there's no pockets, there's not even anything even to put a small key or a coin. These are quite limited in terms of if I was to wear them on a long run, where I would stuff things in. I have actually tried running a long run and putting gels on the inside of my sort of where they sit around my waist, and then running with them, and it's worked quite well. Whether or not I'd want to risk that for a marathon or not for these, probably not, because there are better alternatives out on the market for this particular pair of half tights. But this is good for training. They do a really good job, and I think they keep everything secure, if you know what I mean. And yeah, they look great. It's just simple black pair of half tights, cheap and cheerful, does the trick. A little bit more premium than you can. These are the Nike 2020 Aero Swift half tights. They come in as sort of a ribbed sort of material and finish on the outer side. They feel great, like they feel really good. I mean, I've not worn them for a race, I've only worn them in training a few times. Again, these are brief lined, so an extra added bit of support, which is fantastic, and they come with 4 pockets. So this is a big plus point, that they come with 4 pockets if you're going to race in a marathon anytime soon. So at the back, you've got 2 larger pockets, and on the front you've got 2 smaller pockets, which you probably get like a small key or a coin in, just to show you how the pockets fit. So I've got 3 SIS gels, which are probably the largest gels that you can get on the market in terms of size. I'm just going to measure how big they are, just to give you an idea on how tall each individual gel is. So it's about 14 centimeters high per gel. So with these, you can actually stuff in 2 gels into the back without a problem. I don't think it's too much of an issue. And then you kind of just fold the top over, and you can fold that one over, and then that will sit fairly snug against your waist. Only drawside to these is they don't have a drawstring, which is not particularly good, because you'd want to sort of that extra added benefit of them being sort of closer to your body. But I've worn these on training with gels in them, and they haven't moved at all. So because they fit so close to your body, and you've got the brief line in there, everything is pretty secure. And again, if you want to put another gel in the other pocket, you can do like this, so that fits pretty comfortable in there. And again, you just fold the tabs over, and that does a pretty good job, and it's also pretty easy to reach. So these are probably the 3 biggest gels on the market, and they hold pretty comfortably. So there are other gels out there, there's ones from other brands which you can use, which will fit fairly really well. Marathon racing option if you are going to use a pair of half tights, just because of the fact you can actually get a pair of gels in there, and you can store your bank card, your key, potentially a thin phone, or maybe not the high-end iPhones. So yeah, that is a really good option. They are the 2-inch split shorts, which fit fairly good. There's no outside pockets on this, and split is at the top of the waistband, so you get a good sort of range of motion. But this is basically the sister brother of the half tights. Again, 2021 version of the Aero Swift shorts. Particularly prefer split shorts just because you get more airflow. I just like the fact how they sit. They look pretty good as well at the same time. Again, you've got a pocket at the back, 2 at the back, 2 at the front. Again, these fit the same gels. I actually raced 3 marathons in these pair of shorts. I've carried 4 gels with me in the back 2 pockets, 1 in one hand, 1 in the other hand, which means I've got 6 in total, and it's worked a treat. I can't say I've had any issues. I also know which gels are in which pocket, so I put 2 of the same in that one, 2 of the same in that one, so at least I know where they are. And these come with a drawstring, which is good, and it also has the internal brief as well. So for the money you can buy these for, I think just over £40, best shorts on the market. A pair of tracksmith shorts, again from the Marathon collection, again that very high-end mesh cut as well. Again, they have 3 pockets at the back. These just don't work as well for me personally. I'm not a huge fan of the pocket being on the back of the sacrum, just because it irritates the bone at the back. I felt it being quite uncomfortable. See, I don't have to use it, but then again, the pockets are fairly deep. They can fit gels in, which is not a problem. They're actually designed for Morton gels, if I'm totally honest with you. And yeah, that can fit in there. So again, you do the same trick by folding them over, but this obviously looks good with the full tracksmith kit. So these are particular shorts. Again, they have an internal brief, but these are quite cottony, and they don't feel as sort of dry wicking and sort of lightweight as the Aeroswift shorts. And again, if I was to be racing a marathon tomorrow, I'll be picking the Aeroswift split shorts or the half tights. So moving on to the other side of shorts, so these are for the everyday training. Again, they don't look too different, but these are just slightly longer version of the Nike Aeroswift shorts. So the length itself is obviously, they sit just a few inches longer. So moving on to more affordable shorts, and I pretty much live in split shorts for the whole of the year. I do wear tights, but obviously this is the summer rotation. I've got a pair of Nike Fast shorts. These were £16, I think, from Sport Shoes when I bought them. So I bought a couple of pairs of these in blue and also in black. These are the best value shorts that you can get. I mean, they've got a pocket at the back, just one single pocket, which you can probably fit in a key. You can get a bank card and maybe like a key fob type of thing. You cannot get a phone in there, not at all. It has a draw cord as well as an internal brief. These are the same fit and cut as the Aeroswift split shorts, so it's a cheaper alternative. I've actually raced my last 2 5 and 10k run-through races in these shorts, and no problem whatsoever. Without carrying gels, I would pick these over the Aeroswift shorts, but when I need gels, for example, maybe like half or a full marathon, the Aeroswift shorts for me get the pick. But for £16, these are bargain, and also of the cut of the material. Again, you've got very moisture wicking material. You've got holes in the whole of the shorts. Again, the split is quite high up as well, so you get a good range of motion. So again, really good pair of shorts. Long socks, crew socks to be exact. I prefer the Elite cushioned version of socks. I do in the summer months, especially as when it's been sort of 25 degrees plus, wear the thinner sort of lightweight version of these socks. These are just a pair that Strava gave to me. Again, these are lightweight, and you can get these in pretty much every sort of brand out there. They do a really good job at sort of keeping your feet nice and cool. They're easy to get on and off, and also they stay put once you wear them, so they sort of hug your foot as well at the same time, sort of don't drop down or sag, so they've got a little bit of elastic at the top. So sort of cushioned socks. These are just, I don't think they're performance socks, they're just a blue pair of socks from Nike. Wear really well. They don't sort of have hot spots at the back at the moment, and sort of the pattern at the bottom isn't too scuffed. I've worn these many times. I owned them for like 18 months or so. I don't tend to change my socks too much because they get washed all the time, and obviously they've got so many in rotation that you don't tend to wear the same sock every single day. A pair of Ghatora Nike socks, which are quite new. These sit quite crew in terms of the cut. Again, I think something I'll probably race in if they suit the pair of shoes that I'm wearing. So a white pair of shoes I'll wear them with. Again, these are very sort of Breaking 2 inspired in terms of the material. You've got sort of ribbed sections, and you've got a bit of a cushioning and elasticity on the heel, as well as at the bottom, and sort of that cushion on various different sections of your feet. So final pair of socks that I wear are just generic, standard, cheap and cheerful £5–10 budget socks that you can get from Nike. They do the job. I'm be honest with you, you don't need high performance socks sometimes. Just get a pack of 5 multi-pack, which do a good job for me. I wear them on easy runs. I wear them for most of my runs, if I'm totally honest with you. I only pick up the nicer versions, or the sort of the elite ones, when I'm doing like a session. So that concludes my head to toe of kit choice. I've left out shoes because I wear them all season round, so they don't really sort of change in terms of what the summer months are. Some shoes, yes, they are quite hot. The Pegasus 38 is quite a hot shoe. Definitely found it sort of doesn't have that same level of breathability, just because the mesh is so sort of glued together. If you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification for when I post a new video, and give the video a thumbs up because it really helps push the video out to as many people as possible, and it helps to grow the channel. So if you like this sort of content of me talking through kit, anything that I use, or sort of videos where I break down maybe like a race target such as a sub 90 or even a sub 20, sub 40 for the 5 and 10k, let me know down in the comments and we can definitely get that as the next few videos lined up. But in the meantime, I hope to catch up with you very soon, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, happy running, stay safe and stay hydrated. Peace out.